brother, you heard that right. 2023 Norco Fluid Series A2 is completely redesigned. Hey guys, my name is Damon. Welcome to Maple Leaf MTV. In today's video, we're going over my friend Andy's brand new 2023 Norco Fluid A2. This year's frame gets new colors, new numbers, and everything, especially that sweet new shock link. This frame specifically, if you cannot see, is in this gorgeous metallic blue with copper accents. The new gen has a new frame, which means this year's bike is fully adjustable via Norco's ride-align system on their website. Mine is a large frame, so this fits riders between 5'8" and 5'11". Starting with the front, the bike gets now a 65-degree head tube angle, a 76.7-degree seat tube angle, a long 480mm reach, and the most fun determining number, a 435mm chainstay. Overall, this bike has been completely redesigned to be a more downhill / all-mountain capable bike from the year's previous generation, which was previously a sort of XC and downcountry bike. Sizes large and medium get a STG Telus 170mm dropper with a 34.9mm seat clamp. That's pretty girthy. Now the bike gets a 140mm, 44mm offset Marzocchi Z2 bomber. This has the rail damping system with the rebound control rebound adjustment on the bottom. This is a 29 and 27 plus fork boost spacing. In the rear we have a Fox Performance Float X. This is a piggyback shock, which is always nice to see, that external reservoir that has just your basic rebound and your compression adjustment. Unfortunately, you cannot lock out the shock, although you can make it stiff and fully open. Now with this major suspension change, the bike on paper should climb worse, but it should be more downhill capable. We're going to test that today. This year's wheel package consists of a Victoria Mazda 29 by 2.4 in the front and a Victoria Martello 29 by 2.35 in the rear. These are set up tubeless currently, and they're actually quite good. The rubber compound is very soft, and it's perfect for this all mountain / trail range of the bike. As for wheels, the bike supposedly gets Stance Flow Ds. Unfortunately, I guess due to part shortages, the bike actually received WTB STI 30s. Not that bad of a replacement actually, if you ask me. And finally, for the hubs, both front and rear, the bike gets Bear Paul's sealed bearing hubs with about 36 points of engagement in the rear and a quite decent hub sound. Because of this bike's increased downhill performance and capability, the bike needs a set of new stoppers. So this year's bike gets TRP Slate Evos, which are 4-piston brakes both front and rear. These are very powerful brakes. Mine, these are actually combined with organic pads, so you can swap those out for metal or resin, depends what you like. And they get a 203mm roller up front and a reasonably smaller 180 in the rear. Looking at this bike, I don't think there's a single SRAM component on it. In the rear, it's mainly composed of a Shimano SLX and XT build that starts with an SLX cassette, an XT derailleur, a SLX cassette with iSpec, which is always nice to see, and a Dior chain. Apart from the actual drivetrain itself, the bike gets a Praxis 170mm crank with 32 chainring in the front, narrow wide, and a threaded external bearing bottom bracket. Apart from the very standard basic cockpit setup, the one thing that stands out are these massive 800mm wide E13 bars. These are always nice to see. Wide bars are always nice to see on bikes these days, so consumers or riders can cut them down to their lengths. As for positives, like I said earlier, the bike is actually compatible with Norco's ride-align system on the website. Basically what the system is, it is a suspension and tire tuner. It recommends the tire pressure you should run and the suspension pressure you should run based on your riding skill, your terrain, and the weather conditions. The bike is considerably light for its build, size, and components. Lastly, the performance for price ratio is actually very good. For about $4,000 Canadian, you're getting a solid aluminum frame, completely revised. You're getting a really good suspension package with a piggyback shock. You're getting an awesome brake. You're getting a huge dropper and one of the most reliable drivetrains that you can get to this day. For negatives or points of improvement, I would definitely look towards the tubeless valves that came with this bike. They're sort of ugly, discolored. They feel also pretty cheap when I put them on. The seat is very uncomfortable and thin, and the grips are also very plasticky feeling, not very confidence inspiring. So the positive and negatives essentially cancel each other out, showing that no bike is perfect. I know Norco did try to improve this bike from the previous generation, but they actually nailed it. This bike has went from a XC / downcountry build to something that is almost enduro race capable. I mean, it is if you're willing to ride it hard enough. Now with me, a bike mechanic, recommend this bike to a rider? Absolutely. The parts are easy to replace, and by that I mean labor, not cost-wise. But it's overall a very easy bike to service for us bike mechanics. It's reliable, and overall I think you would not have a hard time owning this bike.
All right, Andy, you're the rider. Let us know what you think about the bike.
This is definitely a huge upgrade from my Norco Fluid FS3 that I bought back about a year ago. The suspension is a huge upgrade. It's really easy to ride, and it's really confidence building, especially for the trails.
Hey everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Unfortunately, it did not turn out as good as I wanted to in terms of video quality. A lot of the YouTube processing is very weird these days. Aside from that, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.